Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Yeah. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Come on, motherfuckers, come on. Release the brainstorm to make your motherfucking brain warm. A strange form, something kind of lyrical. Biggie the bastard, so that's kind of spiritual. Well, in God we trust, guns out buttons, got that disgust.
And hey, what is going on, everyone? It is your pal, Chris, aka MrRamone420. Pew pew, fireworks and all that razzmatazz. Yay! How you guys doing? Hope you're doing great. If not, sorry about that. I figure it's been a couple weeks since I've done a video review for you guys. Might as well get back into it just to remind you, hey, there's Chris. Hey, I watched some of his videos. I might as well check out this brand new one. And for you guys doing, I really appreciate it. A few of you who've seen my last two videos know about this movie I'm going to be mentioning. I got an email from this guy who sent me on my Facebook page, and I tell everyone, I'll let you guys know, even at the end of my videos, that's basically the best way to get in contact with me if you want me to take a look at something, or you know, have a question you want to ask me. Comments are great on here, and I appreciate it. Send as many comments as you please. Maybe not the hey, you look like a fucking pedophile, because I can live without that. But everything else, if you need to speak to me about something else, getting on my Facebook page is the best way to do it. And he said, hey, I got this, you know, these short films. I would like for you to send a DVD of my work to you. And usually I don't say anything. Sometimes I say yes, and I feel like shit for doing that, because I lose track of everything. But I saw the trailer, just asked what the fuck, and I think I've mentioned it on my last two videos. And the trailer was for the DVD of 3 short films by Jeffrey Garcia. None of them are long. They're like, the shortest one is 9 minutes, the longest one is 14. So it's not massive. You're not gonna have to like take 90 minutes of your time. Like, oh, okay, it's just a short thing. And he also sent this pretty cool flyer. Nice work. Showed the 3 short films of it, and kind of gives you a brief description of what they're all about. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Hey, Chris, I've never really heard of Jeffrey Garcia. Could you give me a little insight into him? And I'll be gladly to. Jeffrey's been on YouTube for quite some years, probably longer than I have. He's done his own talk shows, skits, short films. He's been trying his best. Apparently he's a pretty good artist. Does paintings, comics, helps out with music, kind of an all-around Renaissance type of dude. And he just finally wanted to get a lot of his work out there in these short films. So kind of let's dive into the short films, starting off with Plush Bus. Here, and let's talk about Plush Bus. Where do we begin with Plush Bus? Oh yeah, so we're seeing a guy dressed up as a nun riding down the street on his bike, with a narration that begins, as a young woman, my mom would tell me stories of my Uncle George. He would get angry all the time and drink a lot of bleach. So you know we're in a really good place with that happening. So apparently he, or Sister Edward, is a comedian, and a really bad one at this time. I mean, it's horrible. We're talking about old dad jokes. It's just wretched. Now while this is happening, he's married to a guy dressed up as a girl named Darlena, and you get to see Darlena's junk. Was not asking for that, but oh well. Everything seems to be going smoothly until one day Darlena tells Sister Edward that he is pregnant. Of course, Edward, like us, asked the question, how is this possible? Apparently by Big Black Cock. Big Black Cock did all the wonderful work. And she's upset and everything's sad. So now Sister Edward has to go out and make a lot of money and become a star for Darlene and the newborn baby, who will apparently be there in a couple of weeks. Ow! So now everything is going pretty well for, you know, Sister Edward and Darlene. He's a success. I'm sorry, she's a success, and things go pretty well, except for there's a really bad situation. I'm not going to tell you what happens, because I want you guys to check it out for yourself, because the ending is Huh? It just happens. There's fires and Tourette's and blood and weird shit, and it just goes with it. You just go with it, and it just basically transitions to the next short, which is entitled Terrence. So let's talk about Terrence. And we transition into the next short, which is Terrence. This one isn't going to be as funny as the last one. This is more of an observation to the psyche of a mentally disturbed person. We begin with a man sitting in a tub who just looks depressed, downright. He looks miserable, and the music to go along with it. But the next scene, he's riding on the street on a bike, and he has the biggest smile on his face, and he goes to his job, which apparently he's a ventriloquist for the local library with his dummy Marvin. And wow, the jokes are bad. I mean, holy shit. It's like a 3-year-old made the jokes and expected everyone to really get them, because that's so cringe-inducing. So after listening to the cringe-inducing jokes, he gets done, and the librarian explains to him that he's not allowed to come back anymore. He wonders why. She says, well, you're not that good. And he basically is saying, you just fucking suck. He's not feeling really good after this happens, and he decides to get his clothes cleaned over the laundromat. While there is a really young girl who saw him at the library, and she's like, oh, you were really good. I thought you were fantastic, and this made him feel nice. And then she asked, do you think I'm pretty? And he said, yeah, I do. And you hear the song Going to the Chapel, and you think, oh, this is turning into a bad place. This is not good. So they go back to his place, and they're drinking beers, and she wants to give him a blowjob, and he's like, I don't think so. And he's like, but I'm only 15. Like, oh, stop there. No, you put on the brakes, you tell her to get the fuck out. But he doesn't do that, because there's something not quite right with him. So he passes out, and she steals like $4 or $5 from his wallet. It's a cute wallet. After she leaves, he gets upset. I mean, like melancholic upset. This is just bad. There's one day he's actually hanging out with his friend, and he tells him about how he's feeling, and the friend says, hey, you ever feel like committing suicide? Fuck you, friend. What the fuck is wrong with you? You just, like, how could you say that? But we just continue with the movie. Well, after all that occurs, she comes back, gives him the money that she stole, and then they become involved in a relationship. And that's where I'll stop, because it gets not so much, okay, it does get disturbing, but not too disturbing. Like, there's a point like, and the ending is like, oh, you might need to get run over, buddy. Just I don't know, don't reproduce ever. Just try not to. Be friends with your puppet, and we'll finish it that, because I don't want to say what happens, but it's just to say it's awkward, and the girl's a cunt. I'll just, like, it just ends with, the girl's a cunt. How about that? And we're down to the final film, which is entitled Lamb Chop. Why is it called Lamb Chop? I really don't know, because they never really explain. But this has a lot more people and cast in it, which you're supposed to deal with the one main girl who's having a tough time trying to find, like, the right person. In a way, it's kind of a analogy for how people look at relationships in, the 21st century, with Tinder and cuckolding and not caring. Because for a lot of this, and for a lot of people in the short, sex and love are kind of obsolete, non-emotion, almost in a way of The Lobster is, but not on that huge perspective. People, I guess, in a way, are supposed to find true love, but not in that certain where it's able to actually happen. Does it happen? Maybe, maybe not. And guess you're supposed to ask yourself, is the person that she's supposed to end up with, is he right, or is it just right now? There are other characters, ones that you actually really don't give a shit about. There's a relationship with a guy and a girl, and he goes to another girl, and she's involved with another guy, and it becomes so awkward. You don't know how to get a good perspective on what's happening, and that's kind of where I have to leave it with you, because the other two were much more understandable to watch. This one, not so much, because it leaves you with a question of, what the fuck did I watch? Do I care about any of these people? The answer may be no to the second, and I don't know to the first. And we'll kind of stick it with that perspective, and we'll go from there. Now the question you want to know, did I enjoy it? Let's find out. Now we're at the point in time of the video where you asked me what I think of it. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. There were some great parts and not so great parts. A kind of a descent of enjoyment from first to because Plush Bus was fantastic. Terrence was really interesting, and actually got a kick out of what was happening. Lamb Chop not so much, because everyone in it made me just not give a shit about everyone else. I guess in a way I cared about the lead actress, the blonde, but who she ended up with was a waste. I guess I think I take it to heart, because I've seen people that, you know, end up with just assholes, and he's a Russian dickhead, and he's just like, oh, you're going to love me, yes, we have good time, and yes, you want to fuck, yes, oh, fine, we get married. Like, what? Who? But I think I understood what Garcia was doing. Jeffrey had an idea. It's like, this is how love can be perceived. People are, you know, come off just so vicious and vile, and there's a group of, you know, 4 women, and you just don't care. Like, it's the, I don't want to say the bitch squad or the cunt squad, but it just comes off that way. And sorry about the cunt thing. It's good work. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with what Jeffrey Garcia was able to do. I would say give this one a shot. I have a feeling this, if he does more of these, he'll go a long way with, you know, how it works out. But truly, the best part of the DVD was Plush Bus, because it was so, it felt like a Tim and Eric skit, and honestly, the other two felt that way. I maybe Lamb Chop kind of felt like a, oh, you know, here's what it felt, Harmony Korine. That's where I got like a sense of, I've seen this work before. Not so much in Lamb Chop. Lamb Chop just felt like, I'm a fuck you. It's a fuck you vid. I just don't give a shit about you. But it felt of Tim and Eric, Harmony Korine, probably some of Werner Herzog's work, such as in My Son, What Have You Done? Which it wasn't the greatest work, but it's still Werner. I would definitely recommend it. It's only $10. I'll give you a link to JeffreyGarciaArtist.com. There's a few extra things you can find on there, a couple of music videos, behind the scene looks, some trailers. It's pretty interesting. I would definitely give it a recommendation. So guys, if you're up for seeing new talent, well, new to you, give Jeffrey Garcia a shot. I'd like to thank Mr. Garcia for giving me the opportunity to take a look at this. Again, I'll give you a link to where you can find his work over, I think it's Jeffrey's Playhouse on YouTube. That's where you find a lot of his instrumental and unique work to take a look at. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate the time you took out of your busy schedule to see this. either it's going to be next week or later this week, possibly on Friday, I'm going to do a package time video. I'll bring a new one. Yes, this one comes from Luke Reamer, and hopefully something else, because I'm been waiting for something to come in the But Jeffrey, thank you. As again, JeffreyGarciaArtist.com. I'll put a link to where you can take a look at, as well as the trailers for his unique shirts. You guys are awesome. I love you all to death. You fucking rock. Until next time, rate, comment, subscribe, and don't drink the Kool-Aid. See ya.
Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that I